Good morning, bonjour, everybody. So, today I want to talk about a topic that, of course, I've talked about it before, but I wanted to dedicate a specific video to it in reference to how I was able to overcome fear, because fear was the number one reason why I wasn't living in my purpose, I wasn't being the best version of myself, the reason why I wasn't able to receive the man that God had for me. Fear was connected to every single thing in my life that I was missing at the time, or everything or any shortcomings in my life. So I wrote down 7 things that I did in order for me to overcome fear. The first thing is I had to let go of perfection. In the world, people go by zodiac signs. I am a Libra. My sister is a Libra, and every Libra that I know, we like things balanced and we like things in order. I'm a little, not a little, but I'm a lot of OCD about a lot of things. I like things in place, and all of that stuff trickled down into my life. I wanted I wanted, when I was able to get on my purpose, I wanted my presentation to be perfection. I wanted everything to be clean cut, nice, representable. I wanted to be proud of my work. So anything less than that, I didn't want to do it because I felt like it didn't represent me. So that was one of the excuses that I made for everything. I literally wanted a production team, which I will have at some point down the road. It's coming. It's coming. So I wanted a production team. I wanted an editor. I wanted this and that, just a bunch of other stuff that I wanted, because I had a vision in my mind and I wanted to be executed a certain way. So the number one thing, I first had to let go of perfection. I had to let go of perfection because God didn't care about everything being perfect. He wanted to see my obedience. He wanted me to be faithful. So for anyone who's watching this and you're making excuses, if God told you to make a YouTube channel and you don't have a camera equipment, you only have your phone, or you're not good with editing, or you don't have the right environment, or things are not perfect the way you're following your YouTube, the YouTube family that you follow, you want your work to be just like them. Let go. If God tells you to do something, it's on your heart to do it, just do it. Don't wait perfection. I'm not saying present sloppy work. I'm not saying be mediocre. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying put your best foot forward. Do your best. Now, what I have learned is the more I embrace the non-perfection of the whole thing, the more I mastered everything, the better I get at it. I did a post the other day. I'm like, if speaking in front of a camera is something that is challenging for you, keep doing it until you master it. If writing is something challenging for you, keep doing it until you master it. If technology is something that's challenging for you and you're not perfect in it, keep doing it until you master it, or until you can hire someone, or until you can pay someone. That is my advice to everybody. Keep doing it until you master it, or until you have the ability to hire someone to do it for you, one or the other. The second thing is I had to acknowledge my nerves. Just because you have embraced the imperfection of you, what makes you perfect is your imperfection, doesn't mean that when you're doing it, you're not going to be nervous. Your stomach is not going to be growling. You're going to be nervous. You're going to be sweaty, you're a little anxious. It doesn't mean that that's not going to happen. In fact, that's a good sign when that happens. That means you're challenging yourself. Anytime we're challenging ourselves, it means that we're moving in the right direction. So I didn't ignore my nerves. I acknowledged it. There was one video that I did. I don't know if anyone heard, but throughout the whole video, this was very early on, my stomach was Girl, I kept talking. I ignored my stomach. So my nerves were getting the best of me. I knew that I had a gift. I knew I had a talent, and I didn't allow my nerves to get the best of me. So I just don't want you to think that just because you embrace your imperfection, that the nerves and the anxiety sometimes is not going to appear. You acknowledge it, you deal with it, but you keep moving on. The third thing is, I would just because God put on your heart what your purpose is. Like I knew from a very, very early age I was gifted. I knew in some way, shape, or form that I was going to end up being a motivational speaker, a writer. I knew those things because everything in my teens kind of was aiming towards that direction. I fought it because I wanted to be in the corporate world, making six figures and all of that stuff. So, but that does, just because you know what your purpose is doesn't mean sometimes you're not going to be unsure about certain things. And let me explain to you about that. God has a tendency of giving us big dreams and not providing the resources for it at the beginning. So he'll give us these big visions. He's given me this big vision at first and all these big things for me to do. And I'm like, okay, well, where are the freaking resources? Like, how are you telling me to do this and do that and do that? And I don't have the tools necessarily to accomplish that. So as a result of that, my flesh kicked in and I became unsure of certain things. So I had to think of some things that I was unsure about. I had to speak to myself. I had to say, you know that you have a calling on your life. You know that God does that. So I had to keep saying to myself, I had this sticky thing. I took a sticky note and I wrote, God is not going to put the gift in you if he wasn't going to provide a path for you. So every time I woke up, I saw that sticky note and I even posted on social media. I'm like, God is not going to put a gift in you if he's not going to provide a path for you. And literally sometimes I would scribble that down on my notebook and write it over and over and over again and over. Guys, you know how when you got in trouble in school back in the day, I know you young people don't know about this, but we had to write lines. You know, I will behave in class. I will behave in class. I will not curse in class or whatever. And you had to write 100 lines. I literally would have 2 sheets of paper front and back saying God would not put the gift in you if he's not going to provide the path for you. So anytime I felt unsure, that's what I kept doing. I kept writing down the affirmations. I kept saying the affirmations and I kept moving forward because I had all these big dreams that God was putting on my spirit. Then he would have he would have my mentors prophesy to me about things, my life, the direction my life is going to go. And I'm like, well, you know, what God is telling me and what is being prophesied to me, there's no evidence of it in my life. So that's what I had to keep saying to myself. So when you're unsure of it, just say that God wouldn't put the gift in you if he wasn't going to provide a path in you. The fourth thing I had to do was let go of people pleasing. I've talked about this a lot. One of the main reasons why I didn't want to walk in my purpose is because of the criticism that I know that I was going to get. I don't have a crystal clean path. I'm not a saint. You know, I admire people who have this perfect little clean-cut life. You know, they live with their parents. Their mom and their father are together. Their mom and their father in ministry. They grew up in ministry. They lived in their father's house. They went to college, came back, moved back with their parents, or got an apartment, was a virgin when they got married. And I'm not saying they were perfect, but some people have this beautiful bio, and I just don't have that. You know, I have skeletons in my closet. You know, I have a broken family. You know, I'm not a virgin. I am abstinent right now. I've been celibate for 4 years, but I haven't always been abstinent. You know, I was married. I committed adultery in my marriage. You know, people think people think because I tell my story of domestic violence that I'm using the fact that my ex-husband hit me is the reason why I committed the adultery in my marriage. Maybe it is, but the point is I committed adultery in my marriage, and regardless of what the reason why I committed it, I did it. So I don't have like this crystal clean past, and people now I don't care anymore. People until this day, I had a family member the other day try to throw that in my face, and I know I've grown because it doesn't bother me anymore because I've told my truth. When you tell your truth, nobody can use it against you. So people pleasing and fear of criticism and people bringing up my past, now it's nothing, child. It's in my book, it's in my videos, it's on my page. I had spoken my truth until I couldn't speak my truth anymore, so it is what it is. So people pleasing was a huge thing. I was scared of criticism, scared of the backlash, scared about people talking about me, and people are going to talk about you, child. They talked about Jesus. So that's the fourth thing I had to do to overcome my fear, is let go of the people pleasing. And how you let go of the People pleasing is identifying who you are in the body of Christ, knowing who you are, who you're comfortable in. So that's why when the family member the other day threw my past in my face, I was kind of like, okay, what are you doing? Because I talk about it all the time. So it's not like you're telling me something that I don't know about. So that's the fourth thing, is that you got to let go of people pleasing. People are going to criticize you. And I'm talking about even when you're at your peak and you're at your best, they're still going to criticize you. You got to let that go. You really got to let it go what people say about you. We really do. It's just not going to work. The fifth thing is routine was my best friend, even if I had a bad night before. So there are plenty of days that you guys don't know, but especially in 2020, it was a very hard season for me. I'm still in the residual part of it right now. I'm in the backlash part of it. I've gotten through the bulk of it. I see the light, so we're heading in the right direction. But there's times that you guys don't know that I come on here and I do a video, and the night before, hell has broken loose. And what I do is I push myself no matter what. My routine saves me because I have a routine every day that I do. Even if I don't want to do it, my routine kind of brings me towards me doing videos like this, posting on social media, writing a devotional, encouraging people, impacting people, pouring into people's lives. So routines and habits are very important because those are the things that's going to help you when you have a bad night. And guys, just to let you know, normally when you have hell breaking loose, that means your victory is around the corner. So for me, what I'm realizing in praying this morning, I'm realizing that I can taste. I've already had tons of victory already, but what I'm saying is my breakthrough, when it's coming, is when Satan wants to act up. And when Satan sees your blessing coming around the corner and he sees all the stuff that God has for you, he's going to work in your environment the people that he can get into. He's not going to be able to work through everybody, but the people that are accessible to him, he's going to use them as a distraction. So I wouldn't do a video like this to encourage someone. This video is not for everybody because not everybody is allowing fear to consume them, but this video is for someone, even if it's one person. So when you have a bad night the night before or have a bad day and you don't feel like doing the things that God called you to do, most likely it's because the thing that you need to do is going to impact somebody. So that's why it's important to have a daily routine, to have a habit, because when you have a daily routine and a habit, those are the things that are going to carry you when you have a bad night, a bad day, a stressful moment where you just want to lay in bed. Okay? So the sixth thing is I focus on dying empty. I used to attend a church by Bishop Henry Fernandez. That's one of the things that he talked about a lot, is about dying empty. And my main example for that is Myles Munroe. Myles Munroe is long gone, but he is still ministering to me. In fact, I believe he's ministering to me more now than he's ever ministering to me more here alive, because he's left a body of work. He's left videos, YouTube videos of ministry, books. I mean, the man died empty. And if you look at his videos, you will see that he says all the time, I'm not scared of dying. I am not scared of death. So the sixth thing that like I said, is I focus on making sure every single gift that I have, that I'm letting this gift out, every single gift that I have, because I want my legacy to live on way before past my death. And when I say legacy, I'm not just talking about the body of work that I've done, but actually the lives that I impacted, the everyday lives that I impacted. So that's my focus, is to make sure every gift in me, that I'm practicing every gift, that I'm letting it out, my writing, my speaking, no matter what my gift is, I want to let it out because I don't want to die empty. The seventh thing is, which is the last thing, the truth was, it wasn't my childhood that was stopping me from living in my purpose, which I had about bad childhood. It wasn't the bad breaks in my life, which Lord knows I've had a lot of bad breaks in my life. It wasn't the haters that was stopping me from living my purpose. It was me. The person in the mirror, it was me. I was stopping me from living in my purpose. I made a lot of excuses. Heartbreak. Men broke my heart. And, you know, I got sexually abused as a kid. Blah, blah, blah. I was homeless. Blah, blah. I mean, anytime I can milk the story of being victimized, I would milk it. Woe is me. And it's like I did a video the other day. I believe I said there's nothing wrong with speaking about your past in the context of using the lessons you learn on it, but to milk your past and introduce yourself as, hi, my name is Chantel and I was homeless and I was sexually molested when I was a child and I've had a horrible life, and that is the reason why I'm not living in my purpose, because things are so hard. Guys, literally, as corny as that sounds, that was me. That's how I led myself into a room. I introduced myself as, hello, I'm broken. Hello, I've had a hard life. And I use all of that as an excuse not to live in my purpose. I allow the fear of letting go of being victimized, because being victimized is an addiction, y'all, because it's your cushion, it's your comfort zone, because that's all you know. I'm hurt, I'm in pain, I've been broken. It's your story. You want to hold on to it. You don't want to let it go, because that's where you're comfortable at. Child, I had to let that child go, baby. I buried it. Dig a hole, put it in, bye-bye. You no longer identify me. I no longer walk into a room and introduce myself as that. No, boo-boo. I am black, I am fabulous, I'm courageous, I'm highly favored. I am a daughter of a king. I'm an author and a writer, a future podcaster, a future wife, a mom, a woman of God. That's who I am. No, we would not introduce ourselves like that. So I had to let go all of that. And that helped me overcome my fear. I didn't lead with my sad story. Oh, poor baby. She was homeless when she was a teenager. Oh my God. No, boo-boo. We're not leading with that. The only way we're going to talk about that homelessness when I was a teen is if we're encouraging a group of teens in the room, or we're using it as a story of inspiration. So those are the 7 things that I did to overcome my fear. So the first thing was I let go of perfection. The second thing was I acknowledged my nerves. The third thing was the things that I was unsure about, I spoke to them. I let them know that God, the gift that God put in me, that God was going to provide a path for me. The fourth thing is I let go of people pleasing. You can't live in your purpose and worry about what people think. Child, people talk about me every day. They still talking about me, and they will never stop talking about me. Let it go. The fifth thing is routine. Routine helps you when you have the fear of just doing things. Habit and routine brings you out of that fear. The sixth thing is you focus on dying empty. Just every gift you have, let that gift out, baby, so your legacy could live on way after you die. The seventh thing is the truth was it's not about your childhood, not about your pain, not about the man who broke you. Child, is you. You. It was me. So once I had to focus on that, that was how, guys, I'm able to overcome my fear. You see how I'm comfortable talking to y'all? Yo, I've come a long way, y'all. I'm so proud of myself. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate good time. Come on. Whew, y'all have no idea. Anyways, guys, hopefully this has helped somebody, because Lord knows the devil tried for me not to make this video, but I did. Have a nice day, guys. Good morning. Bonjour.